There we go. That collective meaty thwacking means we are back with the collective bullshittery that is After Hours.
With that collective meaty thwacking means we're back with the collective meaty thwacking.
Guess who's back with a brand new meaty thwack?
It
It's
wasn't
your
the
boy.
first time I was caught for that. I mean, what?
Anyway, violent masturbation jokes put to one side for hopefully more than a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone, to After Hours. Since there's been a little bit of a hiatus, we shall quickly recap what happened last time. Essentially, both are daring protagonists. Let's go with that. Eirnin and Victor decided to, well, didn't necessarily decide to, but got railroaded by the GM into being chucked into a parallel universe where a strange facsimile of Khalip had been constructed. Finding their way into town, taking a lift from a member of the Sway family of all people, they discovered that things were quite clearly not all as they seemed, in that everything seemed like a bad copy, a facsimile, made of things that didn't belong in the traditional world, as Eirnin was able to ascertain further, with Victor being more tuned into the way that people's souls move around and the otherwise ghostly things that happen. As they explored, they ran into the Nobel car workshop where work was underway on the Larkspur, and the titular race car driver, engineer, and general oil magnate Adrian Nobel was there to greet them, along with the two, well, technically three, but he'd only kept two kids he'd basically kidnapped from modern-day Khalip. A brief conversation was had between the three, where requests were made for people to be let go. Attempts were made to understand what was going on. Unfortunately, things fell apart somewhat quickly as a dog starts angrily bellowing outside my fucking window. And a fight broke out, with a small legion of pit crew being set upon and actually very nearly kicking the shit out of Eirnin and Vic in the process. Splitting up at the last moment, knowing that they are currently in hostile territory and very much limited in their potential ways to get back out of Khalip, the two exited in different directions, only to discover that in the sky the sun has transformed into a colossal, baleful eye. How does that feel like a quick summary?
Pretty
good. So if we come back into where we were just a moment ago, Eirnin, you have rushed outside with Eddie, the scrawny teenager with a baseball bat who Vic had knocked the fuck out earlier. Whereas Vic has actually run out of the opposite side of the tent with the two STEM kids, whose names I am now going to quickly look again because I keep on fucking forgetting them. Warren and Malia.
Everyone forgets their names. It's a tradition.
I know, but it's a tradition or an old charter or something. But I'm specifically supposed to remember them because I'm the fucking person who created them. You know. Oh well. So yes, Vic. Just to come straight to you.
All right.
Just busting out of the tent and getting your bearings. It's fairly simple enough for you to recollect like which direction you came from. But all around you do realise there are a lot of those blank-faced, kind of straining at the seams. Almost, when you look at them now, you kind of feel like they almost like dressed up dolls. Like someone took a person and stuck them in clothes that weren't quite the right fit for them. And while they say nothing, a couple of the closest ones do just awkwardly extend their arms and start taking steps towards the three of you. And on the other side, Eirnin dragging Eddie out, who is still bleeding, not hemorrhaging, but definitely there's a good flow coming from the wound in his shoulder. Kind of stumbles, gets his breath for a second, looks around. Oh shit! Where'd the smackhead and those other kids go?
Oh fucking Christ! I don't see them either. Did you see which door they ran out of?
Door? It's a fucking tent. Look, we were on one side of that car, and they were on the other side of that car. I mean, they might have just just like made a hole or something. I don't know. I didn't exactly go in there before.
Maybe let's go and check the other side. So, yeah, I guess we start running around the other side. I love how he's not questioning the fact that I'm like a glowing.
I think as Eddie did point out previously, it's like everything is already so utterly colossally fucked. Random hot chick suddenly catches fire. That's Gucci. That's the least weird thing to have happened thus far.
So I just move around to the other side.
So just in the meantime, while that's happening, just very quickly, Vic, what's going on with you? You're kind of still holding two teenagers who are, at this point, kind of catatonic. You can tell they're ambulatory enough to like move and stand on their own volition, but they are holding on to you very much like a couple of extremely traumatized teenagers.
Right.
And there are these lurching adults in kind of whimsical 50s clothing. Well, 40s, technically.
Huh. Okay. So can you break it down for me again one more time? Like a summary?
So basically, you are out on the side of a sunny American dusty street. There are a couple of adults in 40s vintage clothing that are kind of blankly stumbling towards you. These ones look distinct. They actually look human-like, and I'll actually say for free, just so we kind of clarify this, you can sense these are real people. There is a spirit in them. But it feels like it's being suppressed. There's none of that normal kind of vital vibe you normally get from a living person.
Alright.
It's all muted. But they are effectively eyes locked on you, stumbling towards you with hands outstretched like they want to grab you.
Well, I doubt that they're gonna, like, shelter me and bring me and the kid to safety, so I guess I just keep fucking running for my life.
So you're just gonna grab the kids and fucking leg it?
Again. Pretty much, yeah.
No, that's totally fine. Yeah, I'd say just give me a plus real, because again, you're not you are basically running the fuck away from a dangerous situation.
Let's see, if I have 2 plus real, I have 6.
You rolled a 4?
I rolled 2 on each die.
Well, okay, I'm going to say here, just so we can be nice here, Bagman sounds like a particularly good skill to take as a relevant thing, seeing as sometimes you've got to grab what you've got and leg it from the authorities.
We were supposed to add skills to our shit. Did I actually do that?
You did have advancements to take. If you want to take them at an advantageous moment, I won't say no.
I think I took an advancement. Increase any stat by 1. Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you're up +1 for 2 stats, whereas I think... 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Games Master, you've still got a advancement to take.
Advancements.
So
like
you can raise a stat. You can learn a new skill or a new power, or you can pick a new move from either side of your character sheet.
What was it that you suggested?
I think when we were talking about this before, Blessing a Curse, where your powers become +2 rather than +1.
Oh, if I have real +2, I mean for this situation, is it like, what was that?
Oh, so in terms of the okay, so what I said was, currently you are at 6, which would be a failure. I am saying that, given the fact that you are grabbing something valuable and running away from the authorities, Bagman sounds like a skill that would be relevant, so you would then bump that up to a 7.
Alright.
Because it would give you a +1.
Can I take the bag... Wait, yeah.
No. I mean, your skills are things you already have.
Oh, okay. So I have a +7, so that'd be a 6.
Yeah. When you made your character, you gave yourself a couple of skills and a couple of powers. You can add extra skills or powers as an advancement, but... Yeah.
Alright, yeah. Then I guess I roll a 7 there.
That's fair enough. Okay, I would like for people to succeed in some roles so I don't immediately just fucking murder them in this game.
No, I feel it. It's all good.
That's cool. So yeah, you just grab the kids and I'm assuming you're just aiming up the street, just away from the tent.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're able to get a good head of steam. And running is not particularly difficult, seeing as these people all over the street are not really able to put up much of a... not even able to match your slightly emaciated pace. But your broken rib, it's stabbing you in the side. You feel this persistent ache, and it just wears you down. It just makes everything feel slow and just short of breath. Everything starts to really wear down on you, and you're just going to take the minor condition winded. So I'll just chuck that on your character sheet. So yeah, so if that becomes relevant at some point in the next... This will go basically at the next scene, but just for the moment, seeing as you've exerted yourself with a broken rib, that's the consequence.
Alright.
So yeah, Eirnin and Eddie, you kind of start taking the turn round the corner of the tent and just see Vic and the STEM kids just take off at a somewhat high-speed hobble up the street away from... As you can now see, a couple of the random passers-by are now shuffling off, kind of in a cheap zombie movie way, with arms outstretched and vacant eyes, just kind of stumbling along after them.
Are they heading in any way in the right direction?
They're heading away from town.
Okay. That's fun. I don't know, like, it feels like the right thing to do here is just really kind of boring. It's kind of just, like, chase after them, right? Like, because we need them to come back so we can head into town and try and find where this portal is, right?
I mean, if you have an idea where the portal is, that might help.
Well, we would assume it would be in the place that I saw it when I came through the portal for the first time.
Yeah, that's a perfectly logical thing to think.
So... Yeah, I guess... Like...
I mean, shouting is a free action. If you just want to shout at Vic, he's going the wrong way, it's up to Vic whether or not he actually responds.
Okay, sure. If he's in shouting distance.
Oh yeah, like, he is maybe
Vic,
20 yards away.
Alright.
Vic, you fucking idiot! Come back!
I guess
you're going the wrong way!
I'll look around. I'll be like, what the fuck? Who the fuck yelled that? I'll realize it's Aaron, and I'll be like, okay, fuck it. And then I just head back then. I start fucking darting back. I'm a little winded though, right? So that would mean I'm like...
Yeah, I mean, it's only going to have a mechanical effect if you try and do something where winded would be a problem.
Alright. Then,
Okay.
Yeah, then I guess I'll
still
just run back to them.
Right?
Seeing as that is a moderate condition, yes. So you'd need to either take some time just to kind of rejuvenate yourself, like as a time passes kind of motion, or do a specific action to fix it.
And what's the drained condition effect specifically?
So if you try and use your powers, because I think that was the context. You hit the Larkspur with a blast, and the Larkspur just went.
Sucky.
It gave you the big suck, and it was not necessarily a good thing.
So yeah, I guess when would that be putting Vic and the kids back in danger towards the
I mean, if you are both kind of running towards each other, it's simple, and like at a brisk walking pace, you could outpace these guys.
Okay,
Running
so
is not
fine.
strictly necessary unless they're right on top of you.
Vic, Christ. When I first came in here, don't want to explain how that worked. I saw that the portal was still open on this side where I originally went through. Back on what's the name of the restaurant?
The Desert Spice.
The Desert
restaurant.
Spice. You know, the curry place. Let's go.
Sounds good to me.
I swear to God, you never have any reactions to anything.
That's because this rate, I'm just winging it.
Yeah. I'm okay. So how badly is Eddie bleeding?
I mean, Eddie. So I mean, it's enough to definitely it's ruined his tank top, and he's putting a brave face on it, but he probably needs to see a doctor in the next hour or so, or he's going to start suffering proper blood loss.
Okay.
I was going to say, like,
I'm trying to-
your
I'm
basic knowledge of, like, first aid from just being in your little commune, you're probably quite aware there's a lot of blood vessels in the shoulder.
Yeah, I
That
also
place
have
bleeds like a motherfucker.
Specific, like, survival trauma skills, so...
Oh, in fact, you do, actually, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out... Okay, can I use my survival skill and whatever you think is relevant to try and evaluate whether or not it would be prudent to attempt to find a place to treat him, or if it would be worth ignoring it for the time slowing us down to get to the player I think, like, the way out is. Because I don't actually have a context of where we are.
I will say, if you want to make just a no bullshit assessment of what would be the best course of action right now,
yeah.
Give me, and use survival skills as a bonus here. Give me. I'm gonna have to be a shitter, and I'm gonna have to say real. So they knock each other out. So you're rolling at a +0.
Okay. That's a 7, so that's partial success.
Yeah, no, partial success is fine. So yeah, you basically have two, unfortunately, somewhat conflicting ideas. It occurs to you that if you could, like, get to the restaurant, there might be first aid supplies or something, and you would basically need to maybe make a barricade and kind of hold these guys off while you treat the wound. Or you could just go for sheer speed, and the faster you get through, the faster you can get that guy to the clinic.
Yeah, but the clinic's not going to have any fucking staff. And
oh no,
like...
I mean the clinic in the real world.
Oh,
It's either rush to the real world through the portal you think is there, or get into a safe location, barricade it, and then try and do some work on Eddie.
No, I'm calling it. We're rushing. We're going for it because
Rush B.
Rush B is still complete. The creators here, so like,
yeah, it was
kind of get out of here. Yeah, we haven't really addressed this. There's a fucking eye in the sky. What is this place? This nightmare area, Vic. What the fuck is going on?
That's a
Why
good
am I even
question.
talking to you? You're fucking probably high as shit.
I'm still wondering the same thing. I'm wondering if I'm dying, but you know what? Doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter to me either. Alright, let's go.
While you guys are having that conversation, there's just kind of a bink from behind you, and Eddie has just swat some random pedestrian who got too close around the side of the head with a baseball bat.
Okay, let's move.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, and yeah, you guys can pretty handily just shamble your way away from the crowd, and it is now starting to look like everyone on the street is peeling away towards you. Like, even the way ahead, out back into kind of the kind of scrubby desert area, is almost now completely walled off by the sheer amount of people who are now coming down the street at you.
Do I want to attempt this?
I mean, you are currently kind of in the middle of everything, and the Desert Spice Inn is definitely within running range. You could get there. You could almost certainly get there, but you'd probably be cutting it a bit fine without needing to roll. You could make an attempt to really book it, but that would require a roll.
I don't think that's good with the, like, we have 4 injured party members. We're not going to try and sprint there. Let's keep moving, and I will be taking a combat action-y type thing if they start getting too close.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Is that good for you, Vic?
Good for that,
Yeah,
Vic?
yeah. Dude, you're the leader right now, dog.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are quite reasonably at a decent pace shamble your way out of this Walking Dead-esque situation, hobbling down the dusty street until you get to the front of the Desert Spice Inn, and it's not locked, but the minute you kick the door through, when you open up the door, you realise there's no furniture in here. It's just bare wood, with like the occasional like slight hanging tapestry, like almost enough to make it look like from the outside it's got stuff in it, but the minute you go in you realise it's basically an empty shell.
Fun. Can we get upstairs?
Yeah. You remember the layout of the restaurant fairly easily. You know that you've got
Okay.
to go around the back through the kitchen before you can then go upstairs. And since there's actually no furniture, no kitchen equipment, you're basically just quickly walking through completely empty rooms. There's not even any doors on the hinges around here. It's literally just enough to keep the whole roof up.
Okay, as we're walking through the main area, you said it's made of wood.
Yes.
Okay, so I kind of leave one of my little energy nubbins, which is obviously
Jesus.
on the ground for later usage. As if that's a thing that we've qualified that I can do from earlier. Yeah, that works. Let's keep going. If that's okay with you, DM, or do you need to roll to do that?
I would just say, since you're going to be leaving energy in a very combustible environment, just give me a roll plus strange. But because you're going to be, because you're using power, train's going to kick in. So just give me a flat roll.
Okay. Oh, that's a full success. That's an 11.
Even in this moment of absolute panic, you center yourself. You put your hand out, and you realize that you're tapping into reserves you didn't really know you had, and you're able to allow some additional energy to flow from you. And I'm actually going to say, because you got full success there, get rid of your drain condition. You've actually found a new level of control in yourself you didn't realize you had. It took
Poggers! I'm sorry.
Fucking Pogger. Do you say that in character? Did we see a flame elemental do the PogChamp face?
I don't even know what the PogChamp face is. All I know is it's something on Twitch.
I have no PogChamp and I must Poggers. Anyway, but I would say like you have like just a brief moment of clarity that while life on the run has always taught you to survive, it feels like a situation like this is now telling you how to truly harness your abilities.
Yeah.
And
It's given me some things to think about.
Eddie just kind of looks over his shoulder at the retreating, as you retreat, and notices the kind of the glowing, like, small sphere?
Pretty much.
Like a glowing ember on the floor, and goes, "Did you just crap your... Never mind."
I go, I would slap you, but I would give you 3rd-degree burns in the state I'm in right now.
Yeah, okay, fine. And you all clatter upstairs in a fairly short order. The STEM kids are now starting to vocalize a little bit more. They're at least openly breathing heavily. Like, they're no longer clutching at Vic, but kind of grabbing at each other's shoulders, like helping each other, guiding them as they start heading up the stairs.
I start shooing them up like a concerned mother. Like,
You do
come on, up the stairs, up the stairs.
Like you do actually notice, like, they're going in the direction you want them to without you even asking. They kind of have an idea of where this is going.
Okay.
And
I've got a really dumb idea.
oh god.
Is there a chair in the room?
You want?
Funnily enough, you do open the door, and there is an incongruous looking chair. Like, that chair doesn't fit the rest of the decor, lying on the floor.
Jesus.
And you can quite clearly see in the center of the room there is just an oval-shaped hole in reality, which is flickering and kind of spitting and hissing at the edges.
Hey, Eddie. I just turned to Eddie. Hey, Eddie. Can you look at that chair? Something about it doesn't seem right.
Eddie just kind of goes, "What?"
Just go and have a look.
He just wanders over to it.
I push him into the portal.
You push him, and he kind of just stumbles, and as he hits the edge of the portal, it kind of pulls open a bit.
Oh.
Does he go through? Or...
He goes through, but it's like pushing someone through a paper wall. It's made a bigger hole through doing it. And I'd like you both to just give me a roll plus strange.
Alright,
Okay.
let's see. I have -1 strange, so...
that would...
I
that's
have
gonna be...
And hang on a second, let me just look at your...
That's going to be a 12 for me.
That's fair enough. I was going to say, Vic, just take... take a +1 for your power medium.
for a power medium. Then in that case, I would probably just have a 7 roll then overall.
Then that would be a 7.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, Vic, you are familiar with the experience of feeling spiritual energies enter and exit areas as well as enter and exit your body. There is this slight void that forms just before a spirit passes into you.
Oh god.
Like it's almost like some part of yourself is pulling them in. As the hole gets bigger, you feel something from this side start to push its way at the hole, like something far too big trying to squeeze through a tiny little gap. And you can just feel, almost like you can see, if you were like pushing flesh up against a small hole and there's that little bulb of flesh that pushes through.
Oh jeez.
Like some kind of interdimensional glory hole, if you will.
Very, very nice.
Come on, like. Eirnin, you get something along those lines, but you are more focused on the hole itself. And something
Of
just
course she is.
something just kind of clicks into place as you realise you've been looking at these rifts for a while, and you've been seeing how they react to physical matter passing through them. This hole had barely gotten any smaller since you threw the chair through it. These holes may not be closing by themselves anymore.
That's bad. Unfortunately, also not my problem. I pushed the STEM kids through.
Are you at least taking pains not to make it the hole any bigger?
I mean, I don't know how I would not make it bigger. How would that
I
work?
mean, there is an eddy shape. There is like roughly eddy-sized hole. So if you made them go through one at a time, they wouldn't actually make an issue.
So the hole, yeah. Okay, so the hole wasn't as big as Eddie was. I thought you were saying it was huge.
Basically, the hole as it was floating about a couple of feet off the floor and was only maybe a couple of feet wide. Pushing Eddie into it basically pulled it to floor level and then split it open.
Well, I'm going to slowly shift the STEM kids, so I'm assuming they're a bit smaller than Eddie.
Oh yeah, no, Eddie's a big fucking kid.
Okay, so I'm going to start pushing, slowly edging the kids through the hole. Just, there you go, in you get.
Yeah, they are no longer really waiting for you to kind of push them. They quite quickly just kind of hop through the hole.
I say to Vic, go. Vic, just
Yep.
go.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And as that happens, as Vic steps through, I just pop the little thing downstairs like a fucking Molotov cocktail. Just as I step through the hole.
Oh yeah, cool. That's fair enough. Yeah, you step through the hole and you can already kind of smell and hear the crackling of wood and smoke. And yeah, you are all crammed into this small bedroom in the Desert Spice Inn's upper story. Warren and Amalia are just kind of sitting on the bed. They're kind of just gripping each other's hands very firmly and staring at each other. Eddie is not looking great, but he's able to at least stand, but has now just kind of grabbed a random pillow and is now just pushing it into the wound on his shoulder, trying to get some pressure on it.
Okay. I take a deep breath. I need to de-transition. Oh, that's a bad word.
Oh god.
Go meat mode, let's say.
Yeah. I need to get myself centered back into, because I've been in the euphoric state for the whole of that.
Yeah,
thing,
you have been.
Yeah, I need to come back down to reality.
I'd say give me. Since you're going to be going into meat mode, I'm going to say roll plus fake.
Plus fake. Oh, okay. I was going to say plus. I think we're going to make you do plus real again. I was like, here we go.
To be honest with you, flame mode is kind of the real.
That would be 5, 6, 7, 8.
That would be a total of 5.
9. There's a 9.
Oh, a 9. Okay. You shift back into human form. It's a bit disorientating because you've been in your Jin mode for so long that you not forgotten, but you were kind of not wanting to shift back for a while. But now you're in the this reality. You have to abide by their standards, and that unfortunately means being meat.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Just as you steady yourself, you just take in a deep breath, and it occurs to you, you can still smell burning. And you turn around, and the hole is still there. And now there's a huge fire on the other side of it.
Not my problem. I don't think the fire's going to be able to come through.
I mean, you can see smoke rolling out through the top of the hole, and little kind of motes of kind of burning embers are starting to float through it. I mean, thinking about it laterally, if you came through, what's to say nothing else can come through?
Yeah. This is not good.
Like,
Okay,
if you
we're
are
going
not
to need to babysit this.
well, like I said, if you are not certain of what to do, you can always just say, I want to analyse this, and if you roll well, I can give you useful information.
Sure.
Alright. Can I analyze
Vic, do you want to
this?
do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say give me... I'm afraid it's going to have to be strange again.
Alright. So, if it's -1, then I have
Oh,
7. with
okay,
the
so that's
-1.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I would have gotten an 8 for what it's worth, so it doesn't make much difference.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. So you just take it, you look at this whole situation, and it occurs to you that while closing the hole is clearly beyond your abilities, there is something that's torn it from its side, not from this side, and it's kind of been trying to drag things through. Theoretically, you could just block it.
Okay.
Like, it is atom thin. If you just stuck something on top of it, nothing would be able to pass through.
Alright.
Do you communicate this to me, Vic?
Yeah, I communicate this to you too as well. Now, do we have to go from the inside of the portal and like block it off from there, or do we just get something from where we're at and just push it in?
Well, there's a workshop downstairs. I'm sure there's a fire blanket.
Alright, and yeah. Let's look around for objects then.
Okay, can you do that? I need to find a first aid kit for our for Eddie here.
Sounds good. Do you want me to roll for finding objects?
We both.
I would also say you're in a restaurant, so I'm going to say that finding these things is not necessarily the tricky part. Finding it and then doing a good job with it is probably the tricky part. So I'm going to say, Vic, give me a plus real. In fact, I'm actually going to say both of you give me plus real, because you're both doing practical, life-saving shit. Although I will say, Eirnin could use...
+1?
Yeah, for the survival skills.
Okay, so I get a +0 total. Okay. I got a 9.
13.
Fucking nice. Yeah, so Vic and Eirnin, you kind of both run downstairs. Kind of only halfway down the stairs, realizing you've left a couple of kids with an interdimensional rift, which is currently on fire.
I've never
Not
been
the
responsible
smartest.
with the children.
Dude, I'm a
it's
drug
fine.
addict. Don't even look at me, man.
I literally have the most irresponsible player characters here. It is the worst for trying to get you to emote to a fucking imprint on anything.
Oh yeah.
Half the time it's like, here's a goblin, his name is Spigot. Oh my god, they're adopting him already. God damn it. But no, you guys, it's like, fuck it, let the kids burn. I don't mean it in a negative way, I just find it amusing.
Right.
I don't know these kids.
Fucking hell. Eirnin, it takes you a moment as you're kind of scrabbling around. You kind of go find the first aid kit in the kitchen, just pop it out, take it off the wall, open it up, go, fuck, there's barely anything in here. Okay, I need to kind of make do and find some other shit, and start pulling the place apart for like clean napkins and other stuff you can use to kind of just basically staunch the wound.
Are there seriously no in the kitchen? There's not anything in relation to like dealing with like cuts.
Oh no, like there is a first aid kit, but there's like gauze but no adhesive. There's alcohol wipes, but there's like it's missing some components.
Okay.
and
fair enough.
you're kind of having to kludge some of it together to make a decent job of it. Vic, you just run downstairs, and right in front of you at the bottom of the stairs, because fuck it, it's a hot town and it's a restaurant, you've just see a big fucking foam extinguisher right in front of you. And above it there's a fire blanket in like a one-time pull holster. You just kind of grab both, run back upstairs, and probably just barging Eddie out the way a little bit to kind of get some space. Just pop the pin and hose, put the entire canister through the portal, just blasting this what's the term called? Whatever. No, I was about to say antioxidant. That's not what it is. But basically, this oxygen smothering foam all over the other side of the portal, blocking off the worst of the fire, and then delicately, and this is probably where the major success comes in, realizing that if you're too forceful, you would just make the hole bigger. But clearly, this has to have some kind of physical mass in order to tear. So if you just drape it over the top, it should actually work as a decent fire block. And
Does nobody fucking touch it?
yeah, you have now it's like stacking several plates, but you on like their edges, but you finally managed to hang what looks like you've hung a fire blanket in midair.
Ta-da!
It is a bizarre optical illusion, but after a while the sound of crackling starts to subside. There's no smoke coming from around the edges of the fire blanket itself.
All right.
And by the time that's kind of come to a close, Eddie has kind of made his excuses and started to head out of the room and go downstairs, just as Eirnin has cobbled the kit together. And if you guys just want to stay there for a little while, and then it will be a fairly simple matter to just put a pressure bandage to clean the wound effectively, and then just put a pressure bandage over there.
Yeah. I call up to Vic. Maybe we should get the kids out of that room.
Yeah.
But just really I don't give it. I don't know.
Let's get the kids. Then I'm just gonna be like, all right, fuck it, let's get the kids out of here then.
And it's about that moment that it kind of occurs to you, at least Eirnin, that shouldn't there be people in the restaurant right about now? Like, it was race night when you went through. Why aren't there more people? Like, you can barely hear anything going on outside.
Yeah, that is weird. Ah, fuck. We're not in another mirror dimension, are we? Can I look around and see if I feel like this is real, unlike the last place?
You look around and yeah, you kind of you're kind of in the back area anyway, so you're seeing all the kind of bookkeeping stuff. And all the kind of general workplace stuff, and your eyes just go over and stick on the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 days since you went in.
Christ.
The whole car festival's finished.
Well.
Fucking hell.
Well. That's.
Vic!
Yeah.
We've been gone for 3 days.
Well, I'm sure all of my friends in the trailer park will enjoy my reappearance.
Yeah, well, you brought Eddie with you, so maybe it won't be too bad.
Maybe.
He just kind of gets a yay from Eddie.
How's Eddie doing?
He's stolen a bottle of beer from one of the chiller cabinets in the kitchen.
I'm not trying to stop him.
Yeah, he's quite clearly used to it and has already gone through one.
All right.
So, does
Well,
Eddie?
We should.
I want to ask a question. Does Eddie know that his friend has passed on?
Wait, which friend?
Is it the one that I looted the
guy, the Rob, the drug dealer whose cabin that
yeah.
Vic knocked over?
Yeah.
You haven't told him?
Well,
Maybe he's not.
maybe I should let. Well, could I analyze that situation? Because I feel like someday or another they're gonna blame me again.
I would say if you want to just kind of check, like, read the emotional state of Eddie, just give me a quick plus reel.
All right, I will give you Let's see. That'll be 10 plus 12.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah. It takes you a moment, but you realise, yeah, Eddie is putting a brave face on, very much because he believes that's what he's supposed to do in these kind of situations: be stoic, be masculine.
Right.
But he is shaken, and it occurs to you that if you coddle him too much, he'll react badly. But if you push him too hard, he'll react just as badly. I think just being honest but empathic with what you say would probably be the best way to do things.
All right, then I'm going to, since I think we're in a safe spot right now, I might as well just tell him, like, by the way, your friend's dead, but, empathetic.
Phrase it in a way that...
How would you phrase that?
Look,
I mean, you could phrase it in a way that states you didn't kill him, for example.
Okay, well, maybe I'd say something like, so, by the way, since we're in a safe spot, I wanted to let you know that your friend who has the place, I was looking to find him because that's what I was told to do, and he was dead when I got there. And he was brutally murdered by whatever brought us to the magical wonderland in the first place. How's that work?
Eddie just kind of turns his head to look at you, and you can kind of see his eyes are a bit rimmed red.
Well,
he's dead.
Yep, he's dead. I didn't know how to break it to you, but he did die. He has passed on. I'm sorry to tell you.
Was it like a gang thing? I know he.
No, I have no fucking clue. All I know is I saw his dead body, and then stuff happened, and then, eventually I saw things, and then I ran back home, and then I eventually ended back up in the portal, and then bam, here we are.
Fuck.
So articulate.
Yeah, I'm a very articulate guy. Remember, I do drugs.
My character's such a prick.
I do drugs, so remember. I'm very articulate.
Yeah, Robbie's just gently puts his face in his hands. Just lets out this very long, very ragged sigh. And nods. Okay.
There. It'll be alright. Tell you what, I'll give you a keepsake of his. You see this gun that I got? It's probably not the best idea, but this was his. And then I give him the gun. It doesn't have too many bullets in it, but yeah. If that's something you want to use.
Yeah, you just leave this traumatized teenager with a still slightly bleeding shoulder wound, just staring at a loaded gun. You know when I said like treat with like care and empathy?
I wasn't treating him with care and empathy there.
You gave him a loaded gun and told him that what appears to have been one of his best friends died because of the thing that just kidnapped him.
Oh, well,
that's
not exactly empathy.
I gave you the information you needed. What you chose to do with it is entirely up to you.
Well, can I at least tell him that we should get this son of a bitch? Or, like, can I analyze that situation too? Because I don't want him to kill himself.
No.
No, I done fucked it up already.
I will at the very least say he's not like depressed. He's definitely gone to an angry place.
All right. Well,
okay, I'm watching this.
As long as he's not trying to kill Aaron or himself, then that, or any of the kids, and
okay, I'm gonna stand up and like start like going, right, everyone, I think we may need to go to hospital.
Yeah, let's find this hospital.
The other kids start coming down the stairs.
Wait, you didn't get them, Vic? What the fuck?
Well, I mean, I thought I did. I guess not.
You never said you brought the kids down.
All right, my bad. Well, you know what? Come on down, kids. Yeah, sorry about that.
Come on down.
Sorry about that, kid.
Can't take you fucking anywhere, can I? God
No,
damn.
not really. I take drugs. That's my excuse.
It shouldn't be your only excuse. Come on.
I'm gonna start ushering the kids out of the restaurant, maybe through the back.
Oh yeah, you guys can head out the back. It's pretty much nightfall at this point. Like the last traces of dusk are just going over the horizon. And
Can I check my phone?
yeah. In fact, the minute you kind of step out from where, in fact, you kind of recall that Desert Spice installed some kind of cell phone like scrubbing service just to stop people from calling and taking calls at the restaurant.
What?
The minute...
That's wild.
Fuck you! I forgot about it, so I'm just coming up with some bullshit off the cuff. Yeah, your phone goes fucking nuts. About 50 missed messages, about 20 missed calls, several texts, and they all just kind of rattle into your phone. Like there is like that mega lag that happens when you turn your phone onto data for after a couple of days, and just everything rattles in at once.
Okay.
And yeah, yeah, pretty much everyone from the Polyculers at least called you once or twice. Busey pretty much more than anyone else.
That's fair. So I'm just checking names. Okay, sorry. Can I text Clovis? Is it Clovis? Clovis is C.
Clovis is Clovis is C.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I mean, are you just gonna call him, text him?
I'm gonna call him.
Yeah, it picks up on like just after the first ring, and you just kind of hear a breathy, "Oh fucking hell! Where the hell have you been?"
That's a long story. I found the missing kids.
What?
Can you come and get me to a hospital, please?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna want some explanation, but apparently hospital. I'll be there in like. Where are you?
I'm at the Desert Spice. I know I'm not that far from you.
Desert Spice. Okay, sure. Right. Jesus Christ. And yeah, you just kind of hear some kind of distant shouting as he shouts at Zachariah, and then the line goes dead.
Alright, someone's on their way to get us.
And yeah, as you kind of go out into, are you going out like out via the back garage and just kind of staying in like the kind of the side alley?
Yeah.
Yeah, just as you get into kind of the cooler night air, you can just pick up kind of in the distance, just distant police sirens. There is kind of calling on the wind. And that you kind of strain, but you can definitely hear. You can just kind of hear various people talking through like shortwave radios, walkie-talkies, that kind of thing. And yeah, as you kind of stay there, a police cruiser just slowly rolls down the street, and then just kind of passes by.
I just turn to them and just go, in my experience, the police aren't the best in these kind of situations.
I can agree, although that's because I've ran from them more times than I can count.
Me too, buddy, me too.
It's good cardio.
Oh yeah, good cardio.
And yeah, unless you guys are going to do anything else, time can pass until until Clovis shows up. So yeah, it takes maybe about 10 minutes or so until Clovis's battered van starts to... You kind of hear his familiar engine signature as it rattles down the street. Yeah, and kind of crawls to a stop. He's actually taken the back road, which takes him round the back of the restaurant, because he's not a complete fucking idiot. And kind of just rolls to a stop outside the alley. Just rolls down the passenger side.
All right, kids, get in the van.
The only thing I can do is roll my eyes and like look at you with a weird face and then just shrug.
Yeah, to be fair, Eddie just kind of looks at you, rolls his eyes, then staggers off to the truck. Clovis is just looking at this entire scene with increasing levels of concern.
Alright, so is everyone being cooperative?
I mean, yeah, no, Warren and Amalia are pretty much just doing whatever you say, because you got them out of there. As they get to the van, Clovis just kind of leans over and like a stage whisper, just goes, "Eirnin, am I about to be an accessory to a kidnapping?"
No.
That would be so much simpler.
Okay, it's worse than that. Great, get in, kids.
All right, let's drive to hospital.
Yeah, you can all kind of pile in the back. It's been rigged up so there are actual seats in the back of the panel van. It's not a particularly rough ride. Although he does insist that Eddie sits up front, since Eddie probably needs to be as secure as possible. Just so his wound.
I question to Clovis. As much as I agree with the assessment Eddie needs to be secure, do we really want to be driving through a town for the police with a missing child in the front of your van?
Alright, just sit in the back and keep pressure on that wound, alright? Did he get shot?
Stabbed.
Who the fuck stabbed a kid?
You won't believe me.
Yeah, you won't believe me either, although to be fair, no one does, so...
Fuck it. We can save this, and you can save this once we've got the kids back with their families. Just get in. I'll probably stop a block away, and you'll have to walk the kids in, if that's okay. I don't want anyone catching my license plate.
That makes sense. Yeah, sure, let's go.
And yeah, he's careful. He drives slow. He kind of pauses when he hears when he kind of sees a cop car passing, like intersecting the road. Waits until it rolls by, then keeps going, and eventually kind of gets to within like a couple of minutes walking distance from the clinic, and then pulls up by the side of the road
I'm
with the engine
wondering what
idling.
Vic thinks that the first person that I call is an expert in avoiding the police.
I mean, at this rate, I'm not really tripping. I'm just trying to figure out, like, stuff. I'm trying to contemplate life.
Alright, let's keep going. So we end up like a block away from the hospital. Any problems on the drive, or...?
No problems on the drive. Clovis knows more than enough about, counter surveillance to know how to avoid cop cars. And yeah, he gets you there fairly quickly, pulls it up, and then just kind of leans around to look through the portal and goes, "Alright, kids, just a short walk down there. Someone will be at the desk, ready to get you back and see your families. If you just do me you guys do me a little favor. Just say you walked here, okay?"
I'm sure that they'll be very understanding. Alright, I give Clovis a hug and say, I'm gonna get in touch with everyone once I've got the kids safe, alright?
Alright, yeah. And he kind of looks over at Vic and goes, "You,
Yeah.
no offense, but you look like you
Shit. I look like shit. I know.
you look like someone tapped down on your torso. You need help."
Do you got heroin?
He kind of raises an eyebrow at that and goes, "I wasn't in quite that kind of help, but
You wouldn't believe the reason why I need heroin. It's not because of college debt and overwhelming sadness.
look,
At this point, I'm climbing out the back of the van, so Vic's got to make a decision.
Clovis just kind of looks over and goes, "And then, would you mind if we took your friend over back to the camp? We can fix him up a little bit ourselves."
Yeah, I think that would
Since
be
he
less
looks like the kind of
complicated.
he looks like the kind of guy who doesn't actually want to be on a hospital record.
Hell
Makes
yeah.
sense to me.
Do you mind if I can get a couple of coins and call Petty on the payphone?
I think maybe that's
Clovis just pops his fucking glove compartment, pulls out one of several burner phones, and just tosses it.
Oh,
to,
thanks, dog.
Vic.
I appreciate it. You're a kind dude.
I just sigh heavily and just shut the door on the van and start walking the kids down the street.
All right. Then I guess I'll give Petty a call quick and try to explain to him everything that happened, or at least to the best of my ability.
Yeah, you call up Petty's mobile. It rings a couple of times. Rings about maybe five, 6 times with no voicemail, and then eventually kind of clicks open, and someone speaks on the other end. It's not a man, it's a woman, and there's just a hello. Who is this?
Yeah, it's Can you go get my dad for me? He's probably around there somewhere. Where they call him Petty.
Your father, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Can I tell them who it is? Have you got a name?
Son.
Could you give me plus fake?
All right. I have a. Let's see. 5.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah. The person on the other end goes, yeah. Just hold on for a second. I'll go and see if I can find him. And yeah, you'll just kind of, they just kind of put the phone down and walk away, and you wait, and wait, and Clovis is sitting there looking increasingly impatient.
Surely Clovis would start driving away at this point.
Yeah, Clovis just kind of gives it maybe like another 30 seconds, looks at you, goes out, just kind of takes the phone out of your hand, if you don't resist, just holds it to his ear. Couple more seconds passed, his expression completely just closes off, and he just snaps the phone in both hands, kind of hops out the cab, runs over, spikes it into a garbage can, runs back into the van, and peels off.
Well, fucking.
And just as he's driving away, just without taking his eyes off the road, just bellows, "Why the fuck did you just call the fucking sheriff's office? Who the fuck are you?"
Oh God. Well, that's good. That's
meanwhile,
and it just like the shoe drops. That girl kind of sounded like Sheriff Lane. But it didn't really click because you have never heard her over the phone before.
Well,
yeah. Meanwhile, in the clinic.
Well, coming into the doors of the clinic, I start dragging 3 missing children and myself through the fucking front door.
Yeah, I mean they are not. You're not really dragging them at this point. They're just kind of walking with you. They're heading. They know where the clinic is, and they're heading in that direction. You're mostly just kind of shepherding them. Eddie is kind of keeping his swagger on as he kind of heads through. He's still got the baseball bat, which has still got kind of a bit of a dent in it now from where he's been swinging it at those pit crew weirdos. And yeah, just at the door, there's a couple of Sheriff's Department deputies who just turn around and their faces just fucking go from, standard blank cop look to stunned guppy. As all 3 kids in a missing persons case show up all at once, one of which has got a bandaged wound on their shoulder.
Shit.
As well as one of the missing adults. Unless, actually, I don't know if Chloe would have reported me missing, but...
Well,
yeah, maybe.
That's not good. I done fucked it up.
But yeah, you actually do see Paul Smith is just chatting with one of the nurses at the counter, and just very, very, very slowly and without losing his cool in the slightest, just turns, looks at the kids, looks at you, and just lets out this biggest shit-eating grin.
Who's Paul Smith?
The sheriff who's on my ass.
The real nasty fucking Mormon sheriff, Mormon deputy, who also is kind of the official loan shark over your property.
Yes.
Well,
and yeah, looks at the kids, looks up at Eirnin, and just goes, "Well, ain't there something?"
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Vic, you're not there?
There? Yeah, Vic, you're in a van.
You're in a van going at high speed towards the outskirts of Calip.
My bad.
Yeah. No. Clovis didn't kick you out.
Oh, I thought they just abandoned me there.
No. He's got... Why do you think a man in his situation is going to let you go now that he's just discovered you've called the fucking cops while sitting in his van? But yeah, Paul just kind of, without really taking his eyes off you necessarily, just says to the other deputies, "Go and take the kids. Take Eddie, ain't it? Yeah. You go and get yourself fixed up. Yeah, notify the families. Alright. Eirnin, you want something to drink? Then we got a Coke machine around here.
Sure.
He's gonna swaggers over to a vending machine, gets a couple of cold cans, and walks over, just extends his hand out to you.
Just sort of take it and just cold, just, you know, how I am always around him because he's a fucking police officer that also has financial leverage over me and I just don't like him. So there isn't any inconsistency of my behaviour towards him.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is in no way out of character for you. This is your default response is fuck the police. It has never changed. But especially this guy.
Yes.
And yeah, I won't go into the full detail, but effectively, Deputy Smith is going to just engage in a informal conversation with you, trying to wheedle out information. So rather than doing a personal back and forth, I'd just like you to roll plus fake to keep your cool, not let out anything that could potentially incriminate you. Not even to say that you've got, not even to say anything that you have done anything.
Talking?
In which case, yeah, even if you are literally just stonewalling him, just doing so in a way which won't rile him up.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So just give me a plus fake.
That's plus fake. Do I add anything to this?
I don't think so. Practical survival skills, motor skills. You haven't got too many interpersonal skills, so...
I'm trying to tell whether or not I want to take another +1 on it, is all, the burning at both ends.
You could, and just be kind of emotionally drained and take a -2 on the next roll.
Sure, I'll do that. So that's a +2 to this, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's a... That's a 10? Yeah, 10.
Oh, nice. Well, that's worth it then. That gets you up to full success.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Paul kind of just peppers you with a few random questions, but they're all very leading, kind of trying to get his hooks into whatever you were up to over the last couple of days, but you are calm. You state specifically the only things you know are not going to be incriminating. You do not say anything more than you absolutely literally have to. And by the end of it, Paul just kind of realises he's getting absolutely nowhere, that this is probably not the thing he needs to be focusing his attention on, given that he can probably get a lot more respect and clout by just taking credit for finding the kids. And just kind of goes, now, you're not going to want to give me a statement, I'm assuming, yeah? These kids just, found their way in. Are you just going to give like a non-committal nod, or?
I'm not doing anything. It's a cop.
Yeah. In which case, yeah, he is literally just going to take your silence as acquiescence and just go, well, I'll be seeing you around, and he'll just head off and just kind of head up through the kind of double doors into the main clinic proper, where you can...
Oh, I just sit down in the waiting area. I'm not leaving until I know the kids are okay.
Yeah, kind of as you kind of go through the double doors, you do just see Warren is just like fucking lost in the arms of an equally red-headed parent, and you can see Malia not too far away is actually just, she's actually like holding up better than Warren, but she's still just very closely holding the hand of another parent. So they at least seem to be with their families, and they are being looked after.
That's good. Is Eddie being treated okay?
Eddie is kind of just sat on a gurney over by the side. Someone over at the desk just kind of goes over, just kind of picks up the phone, starts making a call, and it becomes very apparent they're being shouted at down the other end of the line, so they're probably calling Eddie's parents. But yeah, Eddie himself does seem to be holding up pretty well.
Okay.
I will definitely say though, as you kind of see Eddie being treated, Eddie just kind of catches your eye and glances down at the hem of his jeans where he'd stuffed the loaded gun Vic gave him.
Ah.
and there's just a kind of urgent look at you.
I go over and say hi.
Yeah, you kind of head through, and there's kind of a moment as sweet Jesus, I cannot remember anyone's names. Why did I make such a large cast? End me. Yeah, Deputy Smith. Kind of just raises an eyebrow as you head in, but the minute Eddie just kind of just raises a hand, winces as he does so, and then kind of starts trying to make kind of idle talk. He just kind of ignores this. Hey, thanks for everything, I guess. Thanks for taking care of things.
I'd appreciate it if well, I'm sure you get what I'm trying to say.
I owe you one.
Yeah. By the way, do you want me to go and actually, hold on, give me a moment. I'm gonna go and get you something from the. Is there like a cafeteria in this building, or is that not a thing?
It's pretty small. You probably wouldn't have a full-blown cafeteria, but like I said, there are a couple of vending machines.
I'm trying to decide like if there's a good way to give him something he could put the gun inside. Around me.
I mean, there are like sharp disposal bins. There's various things that
I could walk out with without people being like, "Hey, why have you got a sharp disposal bin?"
I mean, like
you could throw it out of a window.
You could. I mean, you could buy like a bag of chips from a vending machine. I mean, you could just take the gun, stuff it in your clothes.
Yeah, I just don't know. Is there someone treating to him right now, or is he on his own?
There is. I mean, there's a nurse, and she's kind of just checked the bandages, taken off some of the bits that clearly weren't like proper sterile gauze, and is kind of just re-cleaning it. And, yeah, she kind of takes away the napkin, looks at it, goes, "Huh, I eat there." And then kind of puts it to one side. One of the deputies walks over, picks it up, puts it in an evidence bag, and she reapplies fresh, kind of clean gauze. But she's distracted enough that she's not really looking at what you're doing.
I just like hold my hand out. Can I double check to see if the deputies are looking?
I will say if you just want to make a lift and just take the gun without anyone noticing, I'm going to say give me a roll plus fake. But you are going to be taking a minus. Well, it's only a -1 because you got a plus one in fake. And I will say exceptional motor skills.
Yeah,
can apply here. So I'll say actually you're rolling at just a 0 because you've almost certainly seen enough
8.
sleight of hand. There we go. Yeah, I will say you can. All right, you can either bail, back off, leave this to Eddie, and keep yourself unincriminated, or you can lift the gun and have your prints on it without you realizing. Like you try and go for a very light grip without leaving any prints, but unbeknownst to you, you just leave like a partial thumb somewhere.
But it will be on my own body, yeah.
It will be on your person, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine.
So you're just gonna take the. So
yeah,
you lift it, but
Vic's prints are on there anyway.
Like, this is true.
My prints are already on there.
It's not going to make much of a difference.
Vic's prints, Eddie's prints, Rob's prints are on there. Your prints are on there. It's just adding your. It's just having loads of people's prints on a potential murder weapon. Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Yeah, you lift the gun fairly easily and just slip it into a pocket, and yeah, you immediately see Eddie just kind of sags with relief. Alright.
Alright. Well, as much as it was a fun experience, have fun explaining that one to the police. I'm going home.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure some shit out.
I'm sure they'll be over to question me soon anyway.
Fucking cops.
Tell me about it. Alright.
Yeah,
I look over.
He just kind of gives you kind of a half smile of actual kind of. It feels kind of genuine solidarity for a second.
Yeah.
And then lets you away.
And I look over and see Warren and Marla are in no place. Their parents are there, and I'm like, maybe I should just.
Yeah, Warren can't even see you, but Malia does look around, kind of notices that you're over there, and she doesn't gesture, but just smiles as she looks at you.
Is she got her parents there?
She's got her parents. She's got her dad there at the very least. And,
Yeah.
he's
just-
holding her hand.
I just give her a little wave and smile, and I head off.
Yeah. Cool. Meanwhile, in a speeding van heading through Kalip. Oh, by the way, let's get rid of your winded condition. That's gone, but that's gone
All right.
pretty well. Yeah, Clovis is just taking the outskirts of town, heading right around the outside of Kalip, so he can keep a relatively decent speed. And just as he drives, is just through his teeth going, alright, now, the only reason why I haven't kicked you out of this fucking van right now is that Eirnin seems to think you're a half-decent person, so I'm gonna need a fucking good reason why you called up the sheriff's department in my fucking van.
I was trying to call my boss Petty. He's a drug dealer. I'm also a drug dealer. I guess I'm kind of out of it, and I
You're
accidentally
a drug
called
dealer
the wrong-
and a heroin addict.
Yes, and there's a reason why I'm a heroin addict, which you won't believe anyways, but it involves demonic possession, or just possession in general.
There's a moment as he actually just turns, gives you a flat look, and goes, "There's a lot I can believe."
Yeah, so that's why I'm always fucked up, I guess. You ever have
Okay.
like you ever have an asshole just try to take over your body and just do shit? It's not fun. I deal with that all the time. So I didn't mean to call the cops. I don't like cops. Cops are not my.
Just give me a quick plus reel,
Yeah, I'll give
just
you
to
a
be
plus.
just to be earnest. I'll say take a
have-
plus one on there. Take an extra plus
Did
one
he-
just because you are being
Oh,
forthright.
buddy,
I'm
I
confused. Did he call Petty, or did he call...
I accidentally
called-
called
he
the
called
police
Petty.
when I meant to call Pet.
Oh no, you called Petty. His phone was in police custody,
Oh.
Oh.
and then effectively Clovis picked up the phone, listened at what was going on in the background, and realised the call was in a police department.
Okay, that makes sense now. I wasn't following that.
So I have 11.
Yeah, you are like for a haggard, bare-assed, scraggly testicle of a human being. You are capable of genuine, like, of actually being like genuine and forthright with people. And Clovis, at least, if not respects, at the very least recognizes that as you say it. And he relaxes his shoulders a little. He kind of eases back on the gas a touch. And, starts taking you out of town towards the flats where the campman is. Okay, well. Dumbass junkie that you are. Still need to get you looked at. You look like you've been dragged down about 10 miles of dirt road. What the fuck happened to you guys?
A lot of bad things.
Okay, look, I know that Eirnin can turn into a fire thing when she wants. I am so far beyond not knowing the stuff I wish I knew and knowing the stuff I wish I
Alright,
didn't.
it involves a parallel dimension and fucking randomly appearing in fucking weird ass places and shit. We appeared in Kalip, but it wasn't exactly Kalip. It was a not good version of.
Okay.
And I don't know how the fuck I got wrapped up into this shit. I'm just trying to sell drugs. So
I'm assuming you then proceed to regale the whole thing to Clovis.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll be getting kind of a Hunter S. Thompson style, slightly perforated with motherfucking lizard people, etc.
yes, I guess.
I don't know. I leave it to you. I leave it to you
Yeah,
if you're actually going to
yeah.
regale him with the entire thing.
Sounds good to me. Why
through
not?
Vic's uncracked perspective. Okay, cool. You just spend much of the trip out of town just going over at least the important parts of the fact that Adrian Nobel is apparently in a parallel dimensional by himself and is somehow in love with it, and that he's trying to rebuild his old car, and that he's kidnapping kids from Kalip in order to do so, and the process is erasing the memories of the people he takes. Sorry, and the fact that you felt something was trying to force its way from that universe into this one through the hole it had made. So by the end of that, Clovis has got a lot quieter and has set his jaw in a very thoughtful and slightly concerned manner as he pulls up. And the camper's not where it used to be. It's now moved around to the back of one of the mounts. So it's out of the way and not too obvious from any kind of main road. And as he pulls in, you see like a couple of people are still up. A few of the tents have lights in them, and one of the trailers does. And as the van pulls up, a short blonde woman just fucking runs at the van before it's even stopped, slaps her hands on the hood, and just shouts, "Eirnin! Where's Eirnin? Clovis, you said Eirnin would be here." And Clovis just gets out of the van looking kind of awkward and goes, she wanted to stay at the clinic and just make sure the kids are okay. I think she'll be back later. This here is Vic. He gestures to Vic, and yeah, Vic, you see a good maybe just over half dozen people have all started to emerge from the encampment. A mixture of different ethnicities, genders, and everything. Excuse me. And yeah, generally speaking, they are all keeping their distance, but at the very least respecting that Clovis is talking and watching to see what he'll do first. And yeah, Clovis goes, hang on a second, trying to find the right name for the NPCs. Because I put
They're all on my character sheet.
They're all on your character sheet. Yes, they are. Thank you. I wrote all the fucking blurbs and never put them anywhere good. An old, who would be good for this? Venya. Venya, who is a kind of Slavic-looking woman in her late 30s, maybe early 40s. Clovis kind of looks at her and goes, "Get the kit. The guy needs some help. He's been tuned up a fair bit." And she just nods, runs over, pulls up a fairly large leather doctor's bag, and gestures for Vic to kind of head over to where she's got a cot and a few electric lights set up.
All right.
And if you're not going to try to act out or do anything particularly stupid,
not yet.
Venya's going to not yet, thank you.
Not yet.
Venya is just going to divest you of your shirt and jacket, so she can actually check your ribs, check the bruising, and just does some fairly competent and efficient first aid, binding your broken rib and just applying antiseptic and some little butterfly plasters over the worst cuts and bruises over your face. So yeah, we can get rid of the
buddies are so nice.
It's weird. It's like basic empathy is a desirable trait in people who have to rely on each other a lot. It's weird. It's like basic human compassion is a fundamental tenet of this entire ethos. Anyway, and yeah, if you want, you can maybe try and engage with some of the people around here. Otherwise, Venier is quite happy to just treat your wounds, give you like a very light painkiller, and then give you like just a bottle of water and a trail bar.
All right, yeah, I wouldn't mind talking around and seeing what everyone's like.
Like the whole encampment looks modular is the best way you can think about it. Like everything feels eclectic, but at the same time everything has a very specific purpose.
Right.
Like for example, the main trailer is not necessarily residential, although there does seem to be like a little awning and a separate back door to some kind of living space, but much of it just seems to unfold into a kind of garage, tool shop, kind of multiple use location, like a hard shop. With the blonde-haired woman you saw who has introduced herself as Boosie, and a kind of scrawny-looking guy called Zachariah who are tinkering on some general machine parts, some kind of solar cell that's being used for a solar panel. Kind of not too far from there, you can see a guy who looks relatively South Asian, a guy called Omid. who is just working on a laptop, listening to something through his headphones. And once she's finished working with you, Venya and another woman called Evelyn have just head off to get some food and sit around with Clovis and another woman called Kate, who is just plucking at a guitar, just quietly lost in her kind of own little reverie. And yeah, if you're staying at the tent, after a little bit, a guy comes over, white guy, glasses, bit of stubble, black hair, kind of skinny and looks kind of a bit tech, in that kind of slightly hunched posture, kind of thin, delicate fingers. Kind of sits down beside you, gives you a bit of a kind of long look for a while, then goes, I heard you guys went to a different reality?
Yeah, something like that.
Who said this? Sorry.
Trevor.
Oh, we just spreading this around. Cool. Carry on.
I mean, Clovis is basically being open with everyone about what the fuck is going on.
Okay.
I mean, I won't say anything to the police as long as these guys don't. I'm not saying shit.
He just kind of goes, that won't be a problem. That's cool. Yeah, and you said this guy was taking people?
Yep.
Because I asked Omid, and there haven't been any missing kids in, I don't think, ever in Khalib.
Huh. Well, if there weren't any missing kids.
Well, that's what I've got Omid looking into right now. We're going through school records, looking through birth records and everything, just seeing if there's anything we've missed, any kind of discrepancies.
Well, I know when I was running away and getting the kids out, there were a bunch of people trying to they were doing a zombie walk at me, right? But it seemed like they weren't in control of something, but that they were there, and they didn't look like kids, so maybe they...
Well, yeah, we'll see what we can dig up. You just chill out for the moment. You've clearly been through a lot. I don't want to put any more pressure on you.
No, it's fine. Can you do me one more favor though?
Will this happen to be
in story?
He just taps his forearm.
Well, that would be very nice, but actually two favors then. One is that. One is that, yes, I would like something so I don't become possessed by the spirit of Hitler or whoever decides to try to fuck with me at this moment. And without getting yourself in trouble, can you check on my boy Petty? I think, from what I've been told, he was in jail, and I just wanted to make sure he was okay. That's it. Don't fucking get yourself in trouble.
Okay. I can. Yeah, I'll ask Omid to have a look at the local PD's database.
All right.
Their fucking encryption's not worth shit. It's pretty easy.
All right.
I'll check.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. He heads off and just sits over by Omid. They kind of sit kind of close together. You get the feeling that they may actually be a bit more intimate than just friends. And yeah, as he kind of leans over and looks at the laptop, Omid is rattling through several different, just keystroke rattling through in very much the Hollywood style. And yeah, time goes by. Omid has a standing belief that he will punch anyone who says that unless they are literally sleeping with him. But yeah, after about 10 minutes, unless you're gonna go off and do anything else in the meantime.
No, I'm just gonna eat my fucking trail bar and drink my water and stare out and zone out.
It's a chocolate pecan trail bar. It's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
sounds good.
I'll just eat, drink, and zone out for like 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be blasting my way home, my normal way of doing things.
So are you all
Negative spirit.
Yes, fucking. I've just finished Doom Patrol, and I've also just finished the Umbrella Academy, and I'm just like, I love my dark, fucked up superheroes.
Okay, you're probably further ahead of me because I'm watching it like legally on Amazon, and we're only up to episode 6, not episode 9. Christ.
Oh yeah, no, it just, I love it. I love it all.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
want to rub it into
carry on.
myself. Anyway, yeah. After a little while, Trev and both Omid and Trev come back over to you. Kind of sit down, and Omid sets up his laptop so you can see the screen, and on there he's got the local SLCPD database, which is by proxy linked into the local police database as well, since they're all rooted off the same basic structure. And yeah, it shows that the guy who is I never actually gave the guy a full name, but everyone's looking at a criminal record. Fuck it, Steve Purvis, aka Petty. Is currently awaiting
Purvis.
is currently being held under suspicion of possession with intent to supply.
Oh, fun.
Well, that's not good. Because he was kind of my go-to guy. Now I don't even have a job.
Well, that's one thing. I did happen to find this though. And just minimizes that window and pulls up an Excel spreadsheet, which he's been inputting data into. And he goes, I've been just looking up, like, school records over the last 70, 80 years.
Alright.
Just this thing. He kind of brings up a kind of smattering of different names which all seem to have like graduation and enrollment dates and everything like that. And then he kind of hits a button, and the numbers and the amount of names on the screen go like lessen. There's still quite a few of them. He goes, these are all the students who went to the local schools who didn't graduate. Now, normally that'd be a case of, dropping out to get a job, or maybe dying or something like that. Thing is, he hits another button. He goes, and the list now shrinks to about 50. And he goes, thing is, these names, none of them ever graduated high school, and none of these names ever made another legal piece of paperwork, as far as I can find, on any system. No passports were renewed, no planning permissions, no bank accounts, no utility bills. It's like they just stopped existing. But there were no missing persons forms filled.
Well,
they exist on paper, but they don't exist anywhere else.
Huh. Well, if I were to make a guess, I would say the police were incompetent or purposely covering things up, but I'm also paranoid. What do you...
I mean, I'd have expected at least the families to have filed something. I mean, even if the police don't chase it up, they still have to register that a missing persons claim was put out. And these are kids, like, you telling me that local PD didn't investigate, like, 50 missing teenagers over the last 80 years?
I wouldn't be surprised. Look where we're at.
Alright, fair enough. But I mean, like, white kids as well.
Look, well, I mean, okay, that's fair enough, I guess, but at the same time...
I mean, I had the same thing as well. I checked, and, like, in the last 30 years, yeah, no, there's been some other BIPOC students who gone missing, but it's mostly been, regular Utah white kids. I can maybe do some deeper diving, but I'll need to look at physical records to see anything more detailed than this.
Alright, that's fine. Just keep me or Clovis or Aaron up to date, I guess. That's gonna be something to ponder. Oh, do you still have the heroin, though?
Trevor just looks over at... Obed and Trevor just look at each other. Trevor just kind of goes, we don't normally keep that here. But
do you guys have something else to substitute, just so I don't have demons trying to possess my body? And I mean, not even just demons, but anybody.
Venya does have, or at least currently has at least 1 dose of methadone.
Sounds good to me. Let's go get it. If I can.
All right. It's not really gonna be any opiate. It's just gonna kind of stop the withdrawal issues. But
Well, I mean, that's fine to me, dude. As long as I don't have anyone trying to take over my body.
and yeah, Venya just Omid kind of goes over, has a quick talk with Venya. Venya goes inside the cabin, comes out with a little plastic cup, and I'm talking like tiny, like little shot cup.
All right.
Of this kind of this slightly translucent green liquid,
Fucking
and
bottoms up,
hands
dude.
it over to you. And yeah, you just neck it. And yeah, it's methadone. It tastes like fucking shit.
I've had worse.
You don't get the kind of immediate narcotic hit that heroin normally delivers, but it just gives you this sense of stillness throughout your body.
Yeah.
You don't feel as acutely aware of everything that you would normally have when you were at this point in withdrawal.
All right.
Yeah, and I'll step away from you for a second just to go back to Eirnin, who is rushing through the sky. That's why they call her Mrs. Fahrenheit. Traveling at the speed of light, gonna make a supersonic gin out of you. Sorry.
Why do I play with you?
Excellent question.
Okay, so what's
yeah.
going on? I'm walking in the air.
You're flying through the midnight sky.
Yeah.
But no snowman, it's the middle of the fucking desert. Yeah, you can touch down pretty much as Vic is getting his shot of methadone.
Right, so I have a question. I thought it was generally accepted that most of the group didn't know I was a fireball. Do I just think most of the group doesn't know?
I would going to be completely honest with you here and say that while you and Clovis had like an initial understanding,
Yeah.
Clovis needs to make sure that the rest of the group can act cohesively and there won't be any kind of lines of like keeping private information that could be damaging to other people hidden.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can at will set shit on fire, break the laws of thermodynamics, etc., kind of needed to be something other people knew.
But I don't know this.
You don't know this. But yeah, Omid and everyone else are at least aware that you have unusual abilities, even if they haven't seen you in action.
Alright, so I sort of come into camp and I'm like sort of slightly awkward feeling like how do I explain this? What do I do?
There is just
I'm panicked because I think I'm going to have to explain everything that happened, try and ignore the parts where I turn into like a fireball, and figuring out how I can avoid feeling like getting them find out. And I'm just I'm pretty much having a panic attack.
Busey is just kind of coming in from the side and just very softly just goes, Eirnin.
Hi.
And
I missed
she doesn't grab you, she just kind of puts a hand out to see if you'll respond.
I just fucking fall into her, just give her a massive hug.
Yeah, she just squeezes you. There's just kind of a silent moment as you two are just kind of enjoying being with each other. And,
I have that thing where my eyes glow a little bit, but I hope nobody notices because I'm kind of crying, but I'm not really.
No one must see me cry or glow. One of those two. And yeah, after
Oh, darling, you're glowing. Absolutely radiant.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's turning into ab fab. And yeah, Clovis and Kate and everyone else are not crowding you, but they are just kind of looking over at you while you're holding Busey, and Busey's holding you. And after a little while, you see that Trevor and Omid have been over by Vic, and with you arrived, they stand up and leave him be, and Trevor just heads over to you.
Give Trevor a hug as well, obviously.
Yeah, he comes in. There's kind of a three-way hug for a bit.
Aww.
And
Gay.
yeah, he goes extremely gay. So Vic gave Clovis the lowdown on pretty much everything that happened.
Everything?
I mean, not everything, but a good amount of everything.
Okay.
All the stuff that made us, kind of fucking confused.
Yeah, I'm pretty confused too, and I was there.
We've been digging into a couple of things. Vic pointed us in the direction of some stuff, and we found not strictly missing people, but it turns out there's a whole lot of kids in Kaleep who just kind of vanished. But no missing persons reports, no police investigation. Like they just dropped off the face of the planet.
That's fucking... That's not the weirdest thing I've heard today.
What would be the weirdest?
I'm friends with you.
Fair enough. I'll take the burn. No pun intended.
Oh, mid dabs.
No!
I'll take the burn.
I guess it is 2019, like...
He's late to the memes.
But still... Yeah. Oh, Christ. Alright. That made me feel better. I need to sit down.
Yes. Sit down, eat. As you kind of see over by the fire, most of the people have got like bowls of stew and bread that they're eating. Beers are being shared out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I will pretend that this is stuff that's relevant to me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Kate is
It makes me feel better.
Kate gives you the standard portion size she gives to most people, which is about 2 portions.
I just stare at it and go, "Thanks, Kate," as I always do.
And yeah, over the fire, Clovis is talking quietly with Kate for a while, and then while drinking a beer, he kind of looks over at Vic and just gestures for him to come over. Now, I guess I leave it to Eirnin's discretion as to if you would prefer or not prefer Vic to be as a part of this, but everything that Vic's told us so far points to something real fucking bad is happening in this town. And I know we came here to fuck with the pharma company and all that shit, but something real fucking evil is happening in this place. And I can't in good conscience leave it for someone else to figure out.
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like Vic's too far in at this point, like...
Oh yeah, he's too far in. Apparently you threw a chair through a hole in space and time.
You know me.
I do, that's why I believed him.
Okay. Yeah. I can't disagree with you there. Look. This is fucking awful. And, yeah, I guess, Vic's not got much else to do nowadays, so may as well come with us.
Well, I mean, that's what I was thinking, actually. Because if we want to talk to anyone who's going to know a lot about this, I mean, Omid and Trevor are chasing up the whole paperwork angle, and they're probably going to have to look at school records to find out more about what happened to these kids and who last saw them and what families were and all that. But this is and he throws up air quotes and goes, weird shit. And there happens to be someone in Utah who I've gone to talk to about weird shit before. He gives you in kind of a meaningful look when he says weird shit. And turns out said person is also into the local drug trade, so Vic, it may actually be in your interest to maybe help me out with this.
Ooh, I'm interested. Let's hear it.
Y'all heard of the Tiger?